Shabbos HaGadol that year was Parshas מצורע, but Shabbos was a leap year that year. Shabbos HaGadol Ches Nisan Tavshin Chafei. Okay, let's begin. Everybody has it? I posted it. Yeah, everybody has it? Yeah, good to see everybody. It's a nice, thank you all. Nice turnout this morning. Beautiful. Okay. So the pasuk begins, Shir Hashirim. No, what's the opening words? No, account to me. The pasuk includes Ki tovim didecha miyayin. Better is your friendship, your even love than wine. Vai Admar Azak Melekot Torah Drusha Shir Hashirim. Rabbi explained in the Maamar of Shir Hashirim. Sheyayin, that wine, and that's the association here. He says that your friendship, the decha miyayin, so wine is kosher minyan hasimcha, is connected with simcha k'maimar hazal, as the Gemara says in Brachas in Shir elala yayin. So praise to the Eibush is only said over wine. What's the connection to wine? The wine was first concealed, absorbed within the grape, and then it's revealed from a state of from concealment to revelation. Going from a state of containment to freedom to revelation, this brings the joy. There's no joy than being unfettered, unrestrained, in a healthy, positive way. Moishe, the shaykhs to the matzv today don't just say, like when one would go from darkness, metanal, to light, at first he's quoting a pasuk that darkness covers the world. Is all psukim, and through the gili in a raw oil gadol they saw a great light. This is psukim, and this causes a great simcha for man and for God. So he's established that what that yayin, that wine that goes from a concealed to revealed state. So that brings the simcha. In the Gashmis, we see that wine opens up a person and brings him to a state of simcha. Yeah, yesh lekasha, excuse me. Yesh lekasha is that in Yonah Shachag HaPesach, there's a special connection to Pesach. Shir Hashirim Shaykh L'Chag HaPesach. Shir Hashirim is connected to Pesach. Many of the psukim there are referring to our birth, and many of the metaphors. We see in many Maimarim Shir Hashirim, the subject matter is Yitzias Mitzrayim. In fact, there's a meaning to say Shir Hashirim on Pesach. Shir Hashirim, one of the psukim is the voice of my beloved is heard, medalak al skipping over the mountain. So the skipping is this radical, the Yitzias Mitzrayim that happened by Yitzias Mitzrayim, the radical change from Golus to Gula. And Shir Hashirim also refers to Matan Torah. Hakoshim Yitzias Mitzrayim, which is of course connected to Yitzias Mitzrayim. Abishta told Moshe Rabbeinu there by the sneh, by the burning bush, you'll take the Yidden out of Mitzrayim and you'll serve the Abishta on this mountain. The whole point of Yitzias Mitzrayim is to lead the Matan Torah. Now, the Yonah Shachag HaPesach, when does Pesach begin? It's with Shabbos HaGadol, this Maimer. Maschem HaShabbos Shel Lefonav begins with the Shabbos before. Shemanei Mizborchin Kula Yomin, Shabbos blesses all the days of the week that comes, so it starts with Shabbos before. Befrat, and especially that we see the connection between Shabbos HaGadol and Pesach. So Moishe Rabbeinu was misaken to learn the halachas on the Yom Tov, but then it was extended to the Shabbos before and even a month before. But first the Shabbos before, that it's customary in our generation that the Chacham, the Rabbi, will expound on the laws of Pesach on the Shabbos before. It's called Shabbos HaGadol. Main reason because Anes HaGadol, it was the big miracle that happened on the 10th day of the month. That year, when the Yidden left Mitzrayim, were left on a Thursday. It was the 15th of ניסן. So Shabbos was the 10th of ניסן. And that was when they were commanded to take the sheep, to keep for 4 days and slaughter it before they left on the 14th. And that was a big miracle because the Mitzrayim asked, what are you doing? They worshiped the sheep. This was alarming. And the Yidden told them they're going out of Mitzrayim, and that caused a civil war, and told them that God would strike the firstborn. So the firstborn waged the war on behalf of the Yidden. When they fulfill the commandment, draw and take for yourself a sheep, etc. So this will begin when? On the Shabbos before. And this was the beginning of the Altar of Pesach. Now, the Altar explains. So why don't we? So it's called Shabbos HaGadol because of the great miracle. But that year was a Shabbos. Most years it doesn't fall on a Shabbos necessarily. So why don't we observe this in the 10th of ניסן? He explains. Since this was established as a memory for all generations. Not the date of the month, the 10th. All Yom Tovim are not associated with the day it happens, but the day of the month, day of the week rather, the day of the month. Here associated with Shabbos. Ela b'Shabbos dafka kimubur hatab b'nigla. It explains in Nigla because Alter says in Shulchan Aruch, because Miriam died on the 10th of ניסן, and that was a fast day. So you want to remember and celebrate the Nes Gadol. We make it on Shabbos, which was originally. That remains, so it always is a day of celebration. That's been Al Pi Nigla. Harim moving gam b'pnim b'sein, but so some still b'pnim is because it has to begin with Shabbos. The Gul begins to begin with Shabbos. The Mishcho, this now it's beginnings of redemption. Draw yourselves away. Mishcho means draw yourselves away. Rashi says, and take for yourself the korban. This is awakened and stirred and observed and experienced. The whole Shana, each year, this is going out of Mitzrayim on a personal level. So when it's a start in earnest, the Shabbos Lifnei Pesach, the Shabbos before. So the big long square brackets, all to say that no, there wasn't square brackets. No, the square brackets was the shaykhs of Shir Hashirim to. No, it is. I'm saying here. Started with the shaykhs of Shir Hashirim to Pesach, and then he added, and especially now he's adding a Shabbos component. Today we're holding today Shabbos HaGadol. Especially are we connected to Pesach on this Shabbos before for the reasons we just explained. Shabbos HaGadol, learning the halachas, and the miracle of Shabbos HaGadol is established in connection with Shabbos before, not the 10th of ניסן, as we explained. Okay, so now go back to go back pre-square brackets. Again, square brackets means a parenthetical teaching. Now just go, not an explanatory, but parenthetical. So the kasha he began with. He started thinking of the
Rabbi.
Yes.
A question. So if this is not a Mugadika mimer, does this mean that the square brackets were put in by somebody else?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in other words, someone decided this is parenthetical, but the Rebbe just said these words.
Yeah. I mean, they decided but that's the teichen. The teichen is that it's parenthetical. You remove this whole thing, the whole maamar is unchanged. That's basically how you know. It's often this way. Yeah, they definitely do that. And this is the Rebbe's instruction to write out the memorim as clear as possible to the reader. Yeah. Also, it's to be known that the Rebbe saw these memorim. He saw them for the most part. If there's something that's very wrong, there'd often be a comment. Although sometimes he didn't comment and just later noted it's full of mistakes. But anyway, I just heard that last night from Rabbi Shapiro at the L'chaim. We're talking. At any rate, okay, so getting the flow now. So it's connecting what? It's connecting Shir Hashirim, Song of Songs, Kitoivim Dedecha Miyayin, your friendship is better than wine. So this is connected to Pesach. Why? Because we just said that wine is the yin of Simcha, right? Gilui from Helam, Ki, now the flow. Kichaga Pesach, Rosh Hashanah, why is Pesach connected to wine and to Simcha? Because Pesach is the first of all, the Rosh Hashanah of all the Yom Tovim. They have an order. Has to do with the person makes a vow. At any rate, they have an order. Pesach, Shavuos, and Sukkot. It's Rosh Hashanah Regolim. Now, what's Vinyar Regolim? What's Regel? What's Yom Tov? Meitim the Simcha. Appointed times for Simcha. And again, what is Simcha? Kshurim Yayin. Simcha connected to wine. Ain't Simcha. Ela b'yayin. There's no Simcha other than with wine. Kafisha Pesach ad Morazaka, like the other Paskin, B'Shulchanoi, Sha'achshav She'en Beis HaMikdash Kayim. There's no Beis HaMikdash today. It's a very big thing. And Yotzim Midei Chavis Simcha Ela b'yayin. You have to fulfill the mitzvah of Simcha. You have to have wine. What about meat? Because ain't Simcha Ela Bas, ain't Simcha Ela b'yayin. Mashenkin, it's Simcha Ela Bas about the statement that there's no Simcha without eating meat. That's not so today. There's Inyan to have meat on Yom Tov, not Shabbos, but on Yom Tov, because of this Inyan, the Karbonis, the Karban Shlomim. Every Yom Tov, a person brought a Karban that was eaten by the family. So there is an Inyan to have meat on Yom Tov, but not so much as wine, because there's no Karbonis. Meat is mainly eating the peace offerings. But wine is even now. And it's to be pointed out the minig, which the Rebbe publicized of the Frierdiker Rebbe, he would eat or drink a revius of wine throughout every meal, throughout Yom Tov, even v'chein b'chol hamoed. Why? Shagam bo yeshchiv the simcha min haTorah. Chol hamoed also is an obligated min haTorah to be b'simcha. It's a whole discussion, but that's the conclusion. Which goes from Marazokim by Hagor. There's a Hagor of the note of the Alter Rebbe on the actual Shulchan Aruch. He writes Shagam, and they bring it in the footnotes of the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch. Shagam chol hamoed korei mikra kodesh in hakarbonis. Even though we're allowed to do work, but it's called mikra kodesh. Usually means a day where there's no work is permitted. But it's chol hamoed we do, but it still has a designation mikra kodesh in the sense of karbonis. A person could bring his korban shlomim throughout the whole Yom Tov, all of his karbonis for that matter. Korban the korban that he brings to see Hashem be seen was totally consumed on the korban oil on the mizbeach. So these karbonis are all brought throughout the entire Yom Tov, even chol hamoed. So conclusion: He said, we're talking about Simcha, we're talking about Yain, a special connection to Pesach. It's the first of the Regolim, and the Regolim is in of Simcha, which is why we find a special emphasis, even of wine on Yom Tov, so much so that if you have a minute to drink a cup of wine throughout the entire Yom Tov, even Chol Hamoed. Moreover, if you're afraid we're moving away from Purim, first aside from the previous Maimer, this Maimer Yayin, Baruch Hashem. Pesach, another thing, tremendous emphasis on wine on Pesach, that the Chachamim were misaken to drink arba kaises, 4 kaises. That's Bechlal Simcha. That's the Yayin component of the pasuk. Toiv deidecha miyayin. Another connection to the pasuk. The Yinei Chag HaPesach Shaykh Gam Megula Asida. Now Pesach is connected to the final redemption. Kiddush Mitzias Mitzrayim Moishe Psicha Hatziner Mitzias Mitzrayim opened up the channel to all future redemptions, including the future one. And what's going to be unique about the final redemption? Amongst the inyonim will be then will be the perfect revelation of the inner dimension of Torah, which I said this is our chana. In brackets, after this long golus, and he explains in the Torah, in order to receive the revealed Torah, the Matan Torah, they needed a golus before. But how long? While you die beheld in a golus, Meshach Redushan was enough 210 years. But that's to get the Nigle. But to maybe Zeicher, Gewalt, to the revelation of Pnimius Torah, the Eibishter himself, in other words, golus. Why is there such a long goal? Because if you should also love Yisgal, the Pnimius v'tayim Torah, because then will be revealed the inner dimension of Torah, the Pnimius. Now, what's the connection to wine? Toivim didecha miyayin, connection to wine, because your friendship is greater than wine, because wine, and we have to invoke the metaphor of wine, because kiddush yayin, the name is the Pnimius Torah, wine. Lutz the Pnimis HaTorah, same gematria. Sod, Samach Dalet, Samach Vav Dalet is 70, and Yayin, Yud Yudun is 70. Nichnas Anyet Sod, the wine goes in, secrets come out. So wine is connected with what? With Pnimis, the inner. Teras Hashem Mashiach. That's the beginning of the pasuk. Gewalt. That's how the pasuk begins. The pasuk, these words in the pasuk, it's the first pasuk in Shir Hashirim. Didecha miyayin. That your friendship is better than wine. But how does the pasuk begin? Yishakeni minishikas piyu. Kiss me with a kiss. He kisses me with the kisses of his mouth. What does that mean? Rashi brings the, according to Chassidus often, but I think Rashi brings that it means kisses with the mouth, but also kisses on the lips. Pnimis the kiss. The Piddish Rashi declare these famous words: Gilui soy tameh or Mister tzvoneiser losid lovely. The pasuk is talking about when is that kissing, that intimate connection of sharing. Is losid lovely when Hashem will reveal Gil soy. I'll try and translate soy tameh, the secrets of her reasons, or Mister tzvoneha and Mister concealment tzvoneha, also of her hiddenness. For her, so for the Torah, which is revealed lasted lovely. So the whole Shir Hashim begins with that pasuk with the allusion to lasted lovely, which is the Gilui Pnimis HaTorah, which is in of Yayin. Therefore, it invokes the connection Toivim Deidecha Miyayin. These are the deep reasons that Torah have not yet revealed. Because they're beyond understanding. It explains in Tanya, it's Adalayada in Yonim, which Chassidus starts to reveal. Be revealed fully then. Actually, so we're learning now the equation to wine. The pasuk actually says your friendship is greater than wine. Maybe we'll explain that. That is explained elsewhere. But at any rate, right now, the equation to yayin, okay, yeah, let's summarize, and Be'ez Hashem will continue tomorrow in person. I'm driving back this morning, Be'ez Hashem. So tomorrow, 6 o'clock in person and Zoom. Yeah, so let's summarize what we just learned. So the pasuk talks about wine, and wine is the of simcha because wine is the revelation of something concealed, the wine and the grapes revealed. That brings to the greatest simcha to go from concealment to reveal to revelation, from darkness to light. And it's connected to Pesach. The Chal Shir is connected to Pesach. And it's only the Shabbos around now, Shabbos Agdol. And Dafke Shabbos, not the 10th of ניסן, but Shabbos Agdol. That's in the Avodah Mishchu, Kchu begins. Bringing the Korban. So what's connection to Pesach? Because Pesach is the first of all the Yom Tovim. Yom Tov is what? Is Simcha. And Yom Tov is connected with wine, so much so we even have Chol HaMoed, we drink wine. If you get up and drink a piece of wine every day, you have to have a paskins that Chol HaMoed is in need of Mikra Kodesh.
Every meal, I think he said too.
Yeah. So you say, yeah, I'm sorry, you're right. The whole Suda Shem, if you washed every, I think it was one meal. But anyway, maybe it's every Suda, could be, you're right, maybe if more than one meal he washed, he had a piece of wine, yeah. So it means actually if we have 2 meals on Yom Tov. So my shaila is whether in addition to Kiddush could be even. Yeah, this is in addition to Kiddush. So it's
at the rate we're going, it'll be every 20 minutes.
Yeah, good. Okay, so yeah, in addition to Kiddush, therefore, it's 2 meals on Yom Tov at least, yeah. And especially connected to Pesach, an additional connection to Arba. And then additionally, Pesach is the beginning and the opening and leads to final redemption, which is the Gilip, Pnimis HaTorah. That's why the Golus is so long. And Pnimis HaTorah is Yayin. And that's what this pasuk speaks about. Wine begins with Yishakenim, Neshikas Piyu. I can really forget that. Is because this kisses refers to the Lasad Love, the revelation of the deep secrets of Torah. Soy Tamel or Mr. Tzvaniseha, which will be revealed, Tzofan. Tzofan, of course, invokes the Seder. Afikoyman. Hidden away. So that's a revelation of the Tzofan. That's the Yayin. So that's the Agdol. His Gimel begin now to understand the Mile of Simcha. The Tainuk is hiding Simcha. So what's the Mile of Simcha? Be'ez Hashem, we'll learn that together, friends, tomorrow. A wonderful day. We shall only hear Psut HaToivos. It's only one Psut HaToivos, that's Mashiach. And the all broken hearts healed. And every neshama returned and restored.
Right.
Not only in the Chag that we will accept from Hashem.
Thank you.